That's
What's
professional.
going on at the moment?
I don't know because I've just switched it over to netball.
Netball. Netball. Okay.
It looks really good.
Right. I've got a list of things
They're just-
I'd like to see, by the way.
They're just hugging at the moment.
Is it ladies' netball?
Of course it is. There's no such thing as men's netball.
Is there not?
No. Well, no, there isn't.
Right.
I mean,
hang on.
I've heard of some mixed tournaments for charities and things, but Sky Sports 2 right now.
I'd imagine. Isn't that just basketball?
No, because you can't move.
I know.
No one's allowed to move. Everyone just stands still and looks at each other and throws the ball around. That's netball. I'm pretty sure.
There's men's netball.
There's not men's netball.
I've just Googled it, and there's pictures of men playing netball.
See, this is gold. You need to save this.
Hello everyone, welcome to Shonky Lab. Welcome back to Shonky Lab even. I'm Elton. I'm joined today by Mr Lee Harvey.
Hello.
How are you? You alright?
I'm not too bad. I'm good. Yes, thank you.
Good.
How are you?
Yeah, not too bad. I think we discovered that on the backstage banter just before
Yes.
we went live. So
Is that what that's called?
Yeah,
I suppose that's very sporting, isn't it? Banter.
yes, it's like the green room, but
It's,
like a banter type area.
that's the thing that the kids are all doing these days, isn't it? Yeah.
Bants,
That's the one. Yes.
great bants.
Top bands.
Yes, top bands. Oh, I like
Top
that.
bands. The
Yes.
Archbishop of Banterbury. Yes, that's it. Anyway, carry on.
Okay. Well, Shonky Lab is the show where we can talk about absolutely anything we want. Last time out, we were talking about before the internet. I think that was 2 episodes. I'm hoping that was 2 episodes because this one hasn't come out yet. And this week, we're talking about sports events.
Sports.
That's why I've dragged you on for some top bants.
That's right. We'll see what we can do.
Oh, well, it'll be fine. It'll be absolutely fine. Also, we got some people in the chat room as well. We got Chris Johnson from Witless for the Defence, and Doreen is also in there.
Yep.
Hanging tough in there.
Mm-hmm.
We are also giving away world champions or world championships. Last time out, we gave away buildings. And lots of people in the motor room, what am I on about? I'm not at work again. At the chat room, were choosing what building they wanted. So this time, I'm giving away the champion of the world. So whatever champion of the world you want to be, just ask for it either in the chat room or you can phone up on the Skype at eltonmcmanus, and I'll give it to you. It's no problem. Lee, would you like a champion of the world?
I would.
Yeah.
But my amazing preparation has not thought of something yet. So as it jumps into my head, I will ask for that. I think I'd like other people to get better ones first.
Okay.
I think rather than the host stealing all the good things.
Well, that is our prize position.
That is true. Sorry, I'm forgetting the Shonky Lab. The rules of Shonky Lab is the host gets everything they want.
Exactly. That's the way it goes. It's our little sandbox.
Which means that you have to take your champions first before I can get one.
Okay. I want to be champion of the world of rock, scissors, paper.
That's a good one.
See? Thank you very much.
That's a good one. Wow.
Yeah. Jealous now you didn't take that one, aren't you?
I didn't think of it. We once played a tournament of that at some ice hockey finals. See the segue there? Link straight in.
You played rock, scissors, paper at ice hockey finals.
Yes, in British ice hockey, they have at the end of the season, the big professional league, the top 4 teams have their playoffs. So the semi-finals on a Saturday, the finals on a Sunday. It's an amazing event. It's 9,000 people there for the whole weekend from all the teams in the league as well, even the ones that didn't actually qualify. So it's fantastic atmosphere. But us, as London fans, challenged the Belfast fans to a rock, paper, scissors competition.
And is this outside the stadium or the ground? Or
in the pub, yes.
Oh, in the pub, okay.
And we lost 3-0. It was embarrassing. But we had a little trophy. It had ribbons on it. It was named after Nate Leslie, who was the player for the London Knights ice hockey team, whose dad was the coach. And his job on that team was to warm the bench because he was no good whatsoever. But Daddy was in charge, so he got a job.
Wow, I've already got visions of lots of Irish people and lots of English people on the ice, just queuing up, ready to play rock, scissors, paper.
It's not quite on the ice. We were in the pub.
Right, yeah.
We were on the ice.
No, but don't you think drunk Irish and drunk English people on the ice would be much better?
But like a Six Nations of rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, imagine the fingers lost while ice skating by drunk people.
Oh, so you want them to be skating round whilst doing this?
Only some of them.
Right.
Only the drunk ones.
Okay.
The sober ones. Once you're past a certain threshold of drink, then you get some boots given to you.
You get called up. So yeah, okay.
Yeah, and then you think you can skate for England or indeed Ireland.
Or any of the other homeless. See, we've already invented a new sport.
Why not?
Straight away, ice, rock, paper, scissors.
That sounds amazing. Yeah. With real rocks and scissors.
And real scissors.
Yeah, and pieces of paper. And you have to go around to either blunt their scissors, cut their paper, or smash them over the head with a rock.
Actually physically blunt the scissors, you mean?
Yeah.
On ice.
Yeah. That'd be brilliant. Doreen in the chat room wants to be world champion stitch, crosser, crochet, and knitting. Yes, you are the world champion of that.
That's it. Yeah. I was going to say, should we be writing this down? But I guess.
Once again, I haven't got a piece of paper, but I will remember it and I will write it down and possibly put it up in the Shonky Lab Facebook page. Why not?
I've got it written down already.
Oh, good man.
There you go. See, professional.
You're like a PA.
Like a really terrible PA, yeah.
That's excellent. So what are the atmospheres like between the Irish and the English then?
Well, the first time I ever went out there, we had our jerseys, the London Knights jerseys, and they had Union flag shoulders. So it was in sort of 2001, so it wasn't incredibly out of the troubles. So we were a bit concerned, but it took me 45 minutes to get served at the bar, 5 minutes to get the drink, and 40 minutes because everyone just wanted to talk to me because you'd come to Belfast and they were so happy about it. Mm. These days, there's no issues whatsoever because the Belfast Giants is the team, and they are sort of they're not a sectarian team out there. Whereas you can't have Rangers or Celtic shirts in the same bars, that kind of thing. Belfast Giants is just one team with no connection because they're fairly recent.
Right. Okay.
So it's very, very friendly. It's good.
Good, because do you remember a match with England and Ireland?
That's the Republic of Ireland, isn't it? Yeah.
Yes. Yes, the Republic. Where I think it was the Irish were chucking seats and such things they can find around a stadium down onto the English fans.
Sadly, it wasn't that. It was English fans tearing the place up for the sake of it.
Oh, was it?
It was,
when was it? 95?
Something like that, yeah.
And the match was stopped.
Was abandoned and left alone, yeah. They've played since. It's all nice now. Everyone's friendly now. But yes, I do remember that game. I wasn't there, so that was good.
No. No, I do remember I was at college at the time and came in and we had a couple of Irish guys there and tensions were low, shall we say. We're all just looking at it going, what the hell happened? We don't understand.
It is ridiculous.
That's what I don't get. It is just a game. And yet I get people geeking out on stuff. People geek out on TV shows. People geek out on video games and films. Yeah. And there's so many things to geek out on. And yet, when it becomes sport, more say football in this country, it's not classed as geeking out. It's more life and death situation. And no, that's not geeky. I'm not a nerd. And there's a kind of looking down their nose at people that like their own geekiness.
I think football in particular is kind of removed from everything. It's like the number one sport in the country, and so many people love it that I think it's an easy excuse for people to attach to themselves to, in terms of the sort of violence element of it, because it doesn't really happen in other sports. It seems to be accepted for football. As far as the geekiness goes, you're absolutely right for all sports. I mean, particularly ice hockey and speedway that I've been to see before. You will have people with the programs, and they'll be filling in the details, every single detail of everything that's happened. Cricket is another one, actually, where it lends itself to that, to stats and knowing numbers and following the numbers of what's going on.
Right.
So you're absolutely right. It is very, very geeky.
Well, me and you went to a match, 2 weeks ago now, was it?
A match is a loose. Loose is
okay.
Probably...
A gathering.
That's right.
A gathering of 22 men on a green pitch.
Some of them vaguely looked like they knew what they were doing, but mostly not.
No, it did. It was terrible. 0-0. What a waste of money.
It was the kind of event where when people who don't like football say, "Oh, football's rubbish," you can't really argue with them.
No.
Those kind of things.
No, but then again, there's another 400 matches going on in the country as well. So
correct.
And we ended up going to the crap one.
I suppose that is true in the difference between superhero films, for example. You've only got one film. Superman v Batman, for example, it was either good or bad. Whereas football, there's hundreds of these games. This one's terrible. I'm going to watch this one instead.
Yes.
We've basically just answered the question as to whether sport is better than superhero films. The answer is yes. Yes, it is.
Well done. You're trolling from this side, and we also have a resident troll in the chat room in the shape of Lee Medcalf. He's kind of heckling from the back, asking about sport and why. Is there a cup in sport? There's always a cup. Why isn't it in a mug? Sport is muggist. Oh dear.
I see what he did there.
Oh yeah. Well, once again, there's that kind of line that if you like sport, you like sport. If you don't like sport, you don't like sport, and that's it. There's just no turning you whatsoever. But then again, there are. Well, I'm going to go back to what I was actually talking about earlier on about the match that we went to and the geekiness there. You didn't pick up a program, did you?
I did not, no.
Every match I go to, I pick up a program for no reason other than just to say, "Oh yeah, I went to that match." It's like picking up a program to go to a concert or a gig.
Collecting things, isn't it?
Yeah, or getting a T-shirt from a gig.
And well, you also have football stickers.
Stickers.
Yeah.
Oh, the sticker books.
Yeah. Again, I'm a link between collecting geekiness and sports. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, yes, because there is a Panini sticker book coming out very soon. Is it out now? Ready for the Euros?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Of course it is. Yeah.
Okay. Right. After this, we are going to be doing swaps because I will be collecting that.
I haven't got one yet.
No.
Not yet.
I haven't got one yet.
I saw some in the shops the other day, so I suspect it is out. Yeah.
No, my son came up to me today and said, "Are we doing the sticker book again?" I went, "Yes, I will be doing that for the rest of my life. Don't you worry."
Yeah. Long after he is stopped.
Yes. Yeah.
He'll still be there.
But you're right. It is like a collection of either stats or you can fill out. Normally they have a chart, don't they, of what is going on in the certain tournament, whether it be the World Cup or whether it be the Euros.
Yeah.
And you can gig out on the scores, and you can write your little scores in and put your players who scored in and how many yellow cards, how many red cards, and yeah, I love them books.
Well, American sports, they love it over in America. Just the stats, baseball especially. Just people live. I mean, have you seen Moneyball?
No.
The film, I can't remember the actor was in. I'm sure Lee will be able to tell me. It was about the Oakland Athletics baseball team who worked out that instead of spending a fortune on all their players, they just looked at the stats and looked at the averages and said, well, if this player faces so many balls, he's going to hit so many home runs. Right. He's done this in the past. So they built their team on the cheap by just going by stats. And they I think they got to the World Series. I don't think they won it.
Right.
They went all the way.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's America. Stats is huge.
Yeah, it's like playing Championship Manager on the computer.
Football Excel, yeah, football spreadsheets.
Well, that's all it was. That game was just a spreadsheet, and you had to work out who had the best running ability and crossing ability and fatigue, and it was just working out, just playing the game. If you know how to play the stat game, then you could win that.
Exactly, and it transfers through to real life sport.
Oh, nice segue. So, what have you seen live then?
Right. Well, we saw football. Saw that very recently, didn't we? We talked about that. Ice hockey again is possibly my favourite game to watch. It's very, very fast.
The ice hockey over here.
Yeah.
Are they allowed to fight?
They're not allowed to fight anywhere, but they do. You get sent off for it, or you'll get like 5 minutes in the sin bin or whatever.
But I thought that was part of the game.
It is. It's not. It doesn't go unpunished.
Yeah.
But it's usually just 2 minutes, sat down, think about it, come back on, do it again. The idea of it is that you want to win momentum for your team.
Mm-hmm.
So if things are not going well, you start up a fight and you win, and then the rest of your team's all G'd up. The alternative is if you can goad one of the other team's skilled players into fighting you, they get sent off for 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it is. And then they're missing that player for that time. So it has a slight tactical element to it. Plus, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've seen some fights on YouTube, and they're just crazy. There's just two guys grabbing each other's collars, and they're pretty much going punch for punch until one of them just falls over, or the refs don't even get involved, do they?
Not straight away, no. They will once they start to look tired.
Yeah.
They'll jump in and go, okay, that's it, you're done. But the shirts actually have what's called a fight strap on the back so that you can attach your shirt to your shorts. Right. Specifically for fighting, so that they can't get it pulled over their head.
Oh, bloody hell. So,
absolutely true.
Well, then that means that it's encouraged.
It's not discouraged.
Exactly.
I wouldn't say it was encouraged, but there's a lot of sort of worry about it because of head injuries and things, and similar to what's happening in American football and in rugby, with the idea, or any other contact sports, with the idea of it causing concussion to a lot of players in later life. Yeah. So it's kind of discouraged at younger levels, I guess.
Yeah, I think once you get past a certain age, then really it's up to you if you want to get goaded into a fight. If you want to participate in anything like that, then you go for it.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, what else have you seen live?
I noticed Chris Johnson's talking about cricket, saying it was the most boring thing in his life. He's doing it wrong. Cricket is an excuse to go and sit in the sun, read the paper, have a snooze, listen to Test Match Special, which is basically old men talking about cakes they've been sent in the post. And it's lovely.
Old men talking about cakes.
It's just a lovely, relaxing day.
That sounds like heaven.
And nothing really happens that much. Occasionally there'll be a little bit of excitement and you can go, jolly good, and clap hands, and then go and get another glass of Pimm's. It's lovely.
Yeah, Jack Woodgate says drink Pimm's.
Exactly. That's
perfect
cricket.
Excuse for that. Exactly. I've only seen cricket on a I wouldn't even say it was a county level, more just where my son used to play football. There was a cricket pitch over the other side at the same ground, and he'd finish a match, and then we'd see all the blokes, I'd like to say warming up, but really they were just throwing a ball around. It looked like a warm up in PE at school, when really nobody gives a toss. They're just there for a bit of fun, and okay, fine, we'll finish with the football, and then we just sat down and then watched a bit of the cricket, and it was brilliant. Even watching my son play cricket, it was a blue sky, it was beating down. I had a nice big bottle of cold water. I had a book to read as well.
Yep.
And it was wicked.
It is one of the greater things to do in life. Never mind just sport. It's lovely and relaxed. And of course, because if it's raining, it's not played.
No.
You just go. So it will. If you're watching cricket, it will always be sunny and lovely.
Yeah. And if you're in a stadium, have you been in like a big stadium like Lords?
I have been to Lords.
Oh.
I've been to the Oval as well. I've seen an Ashes test at Lords before.
And how did that go?
Well, Lords is funny because the first session, everyone starts to come in the morning because cricket is split into 3 sessions, a test match day. And everyone will come in the morning and it'll be quite quiet and relaxed and you'll start drinking beer. And then by the mid-session, everybody's quite drunk.
Okay.
So there's lots of noise and lots of singing in the Barmy Army, and if you're watching India or Pakistan, there tends to be a lot of drums and horns and things going on, or the West Indies as well bring their drums, and everything's really lively. And then by the end session, everybody's really drunk and having a snooze, and the sun's going down. It's quiet. It gets a lot more sedate.
Yeah.
So it's a really like 3 things in one, basically.
I'd imagine it would be really good. I would like to go to one of them because you're in a place like every stadium, but you're there and it's a game where you can actually chat through it and you're not getting shouted over or some big dude with a big pie who wants to get past you.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is good. Of course, you're going to have 20,000 people there.
Yeah.
But there's other stuff going on. So they won't always necessarily be in the arena watching it at any one time.
Yeah.
It's just a lovely day. Go to Lords.
Yeah, I used to work near the Oval as well, so I know exactly where that is. So
that's less good because they won't let you take your own beer in.
Oh.
Lords does, but the Oval doesn't.
Is there a restriction on what they can let you bring in?
In Lords, it's 2 cans of beer per person or 1 bottle of wine, but as a friend of mine pointed out, a bottle of wine fits perfectly into a Pringles tube, so you could just walk in with a hamper full of Pringles.
Surely they'd know about that. Surely.
Well, lots of people are trying to get in, so they're not going to check, are they? You just walk in with your crisps and enjoy the day.
Outside the stadium, there's all these Pringles on the floor. When nobody wants Pringles, they just want the wine. Exactly. Oh
yes,
dear.
I do recommend cricket. It's fantastic. If you can go and watch it. Playing it is better too. But yes, it's brilliant.
Okay, playing it is good only if you're batting. Or bowling.
Depends on where you're fielding, because you can stand and have a think. Have a little sit down every now and then.
Yeah, you can
watch the world go by. It's lovely.
It's a lonely game. It is possibly one of the only lonely sports.
No, because when the bowlers change, you have to move. You have to move around a little bit.
Oh, okay, right.
You can do a bit of clapping and a bit of geeing up your bowler and going, come on.
Okay, well, let's say I'm near the rope or the boundary.
Yeah.
I don't know where. I don't know what the names of the positions on the field are, and then it's time to change. And I've been standing there. Nobody's hit a ball towards me. They've all been going to my left or to my right, but my friend over there has been getting them. And I'm standing there going, okay. And then it's, all change. Okay, so I walk over to where my mate was. And they know that, okay, well, we've been trying to hit it over there, so let's try somewhere else. And you could possibly go for a whole game, which is a 3-day event, without even seeing that ball.
Not at the sort of local level. It's usually just an afternoon.
Right.
It's not that bad. but it can happen, yeah. But that's the thing that a lot of people from outside of England or the countries that play cricket don't really understand, is how you can play for 5 days and not get a winner. But it's that eccentricity of cricket that's fantastic. It's
I think the bat's better than baseball as well.
Absolutely.
I'd like one of them wrapped in barbed wire instead of baseball bat and Walking Dead. Christ.
Well, you've seen Shaun of the Dead.
Yes.
It's perfectly well with a cricket bat.
Yeah. Much better.
So it's not only is it one of the finest things you can do in life, but it's also a good tool in a zombie apocalypse.
And it's very civilized as well.
Correct. If you have to suffer a zombie apocalypse, do it civilly. Is that a word? It is now.
Do it in a civil manner. There we go.
Exactly. Yeah.
What else you seen? Or shall I shove in something I've seen?
Go on then.
Well, I have been to your beloved Millwall.
Really?
Yes.
In what circumstances? Because you're from that way, aren't you?
Kind of, yeah.
Nearish.
We had a friend. Is it? Hang on, right. I've got to work out this relation. It is a relation. It is my,
not in a Bill Clinton way, I suspect.
Not that type of relations. It was my brother-in-law's cousin and his wife's brother used to play for Millwall.
Oh, okay.
He was signed on for Millwall.
Yeah.
And he ended up playing for Charlton as well. Work that one out. But, let's not get into rivalries just yet.
Yeah.
We went to Millwall. First time there. I think we've been twice, I think it is. And we ended up behind the goal, but we weren't allowed on the bottom tier. We had to go up to the top tier.
Yep, that sounds right.
Is that what they normally do?
As an away supporter, yeah?
No, this was a home supporter.
Oh, right, I don't know.
This was a home supporter. We were in the Millwall stuff.
What was the match?
Oh,
do you know what competition it was in?
It was just a normal league match.
I don't know.
Nothing very big.
Maybe they heard you were there and were a little bit worried.
Well, I got worried when the man in the seat in front of me started rocking backwards and forwards and shouting out "Mill," and I had to work this out. When you go to a football stadium and you don't know any of the chants or anything like this, you have to work them out, and sometimes it is quite fun. Like when I've taken my son to Colchester, you have to work out what they're actually saying. You're like, what are they saying? Okay, they're saying that and they're saying that. Oh, no, don't let my son say that because that's a swear word. But yeah, it was very intense. It wasn't violent, but there was a point where the ref was giving so many yellow cards. I think there was a red card during it as well. And one of the guys next to me stood up and at the top of his voice shouted, "Everyone in blue," Millwall's colours, "everyone in blue, line up and give your name to the ref. Just get it done with." Because they were just getting everyone with a yellow card.
They are colourful characters down that way.
Yeah.
Ex-dockers, and I think it's carried on even after the docks have closed. There's definitely some colourful language.
Oh, God, yes. Yeah.
Even from the very small, even from the young kids.
Right. But it wasn't... There was no fights or anything like that. Millwall have got a reputation of no one likes us, we don't care type thing. Yeah. And they'll always have a ruck. Now, I've seen it on the TV where they have turned cars over when they didn't get promoted one year.
Ah, yes, I remember that one. I wasn't there.
They just narrowly missed out on going up to the Premiership. Am I right in thinking that?
You are right, but it wasn't narrow. We completely messed up that particular game. It was against Derby County, I remember, yeah.
Right, and they set cars on fire? Or rolled them over?
Possibly.
That
may have happened. It did happen, yeah. It was well documented, and we've had draconian membership schemes ever since.
Ah, okay.
Yes, which is probably why you don't really hear about much happening anymore.
Yeah, but I didn't see any of that. I didn't see any violence, but I think I was at the right game or the wrong game. Hopefully the right game.
Well, it depends on what you go for, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Do you think it was the right game?
It was the right game, yes.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Why would I want to get involved in anything like that? I'm a wimp. I've got arms like SpongeBob SquarePants. I'm not going to have a fight.
You just run away.
Yes. Run away.
That's what I do.
Run away very quickly.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So go on. So what else have you seen apart from Millwall?
Okay.
Does that count as sport?
Yes, it does. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I've seen Charlton play football. they were playing Wimbledon, and the atmosphere was really good, but it was freezing cold. And it was one of the only nights that it snowed, and me and Amanda were in the second from the front row along the touchline, and it was snowing this night. And where Cheltenham, they had just built their new stadium, and so a lot of the people behind us were undercover, so they weren't getting snowed. It was just the first 3 rows that were getting snowed on, and we were freezing. And we ended up going up the pub after. Up to our local pub, and people were like, "What did you do?" We had it on in the pub here. And like, well, we didn't know it was going to snow, and we wanted to go and see the match. I think Cheltenham won 1-0. It was when John Hartson was playing for Wimbledon at the time, and so that's going back a little bit. But yeah, snowed on for no apparent reason. What the hell was that all about?
It wasn't winter by chance, was it?
Do you know what?
That would be a good reason.
In England, I don't think it matters when it was. It's just sod's law, isn't it?
That's true, actually. I was told that it snowed up north this weekend.
Yeah, what is that all about?
Well, that is something when people say, why do you do it? The amount of times you've been on the stereotype is a Tuesday evening in Grimsby, and you've travelled hundreds of miles to watch your team play, and it's throwing it down with rain, and you're freezing cold, and your team loses pathetically. Why do you do it? But you just get attached to your team. You can't really explain it. I guess people like to belong, don't they?
Yeah, it's their little group.
Yeah.
Their little tribe that they want to be a part of.
I think that happens in other aspects of life as well. I mean, going back to comics again, I know people who are like, I'm not interested in Marvel things. I follow DC things.
Yeah.
It's that idea of just wanting to belong to the same group. And Star Wars and Star Trek, for example.
Yes.
Not everyone, of course, but there are people who are viciously behind one thing. So it happens in all levels. And sport, particularly football in this country, is something that people find it very easy to attach themselves to.
Yeah, I totally understand that. I've attached myself to the Star Wars world, universe, shall we say. And I know I do. I know I look down on the Star Trek as something that I don't like. But it's not for want of trying. I have tried it. I've just discovered it's not for me.
Maybe that's the difference, because I wouldn't want to try Crystal Palace.
No, why would you do that?
I have no interest in trying them whatsoever. Maybe sports fans are actually more ridiculous.
Yeah, I can see that. Changing colours and stuff like that. No, it shouldn't happen, really, should it?
No.
But
it does.
Yeah. Okay, what else have you seen?
Right. What have I talked about already? Ice hockey. Formula 1. You love that, don't you?
Yeah.
Is it a sport, really?
I'm sorry, what?
Formula 1, you've heard of it. Is that really a sport? It's just people driving around. They're not really doing anything. It's like horse racing. That's the horse, right?
I'm sorry, I'm going for a tunnel. What? Of course it's a sport. Of course it's a sport.
Why is it a sport then?
I had this discussion a little while ago about sports and what is a sport and what isn't a sport. I don't know if I had it on here or not, though. I think it was on Twitter or possibly maybe even Facebook about what is a sport. And it's a competition, putting yourself against the elements of either a defined set of rules, and you also have to partake physically in the sport. So chess is not a sport.
Okay.
But then again, you're using your mind, aren't you?
Correct.
But you're not physically taking part in that match.
And what about chess boxing?
Chess boxing is a unique sport which I've known about for years and years and years. Believe it or not, it was on one of my test podcasts that I did in 2008, and I actually spoke about chess boxing there.
Right.
But that is a unique sport where you box for one round and you play chess for the next round, and then you box for another round, and then you play chess for another round. And I think that's because you got the physical attributes of boxing, and then you still have to have your wits about you for the chess.
Yeah, because you can, if you spend your entire time just training to be a boxer, you're terrible at chess, so you'll lose really quickly.
Yeah.
And vice versa.
And plus,
maybe it's the king of sport.
I wouldn't say the king of sport. No, it's far more. There's better.
But it's
sport.
Both brain and brawn.
It is, but it proves that chess isn't a sport because you can't even move the pieces with your boxing gloves on.
So in order to make chess a sport, you've got to add the element of punching each other in the head.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you think it would work with other sports like chess, tennis?
No, because the thing about chess boxing is you're taking a battering to the head.
Right.
You're going through a physical. How would you put it? Your body is going through a physical pummeling, and especially your head. And if you know that he's good at the chess side of things, you pound him a few times in the head instead of a couple of body shots, and then you may tip that balance.
I guess. I suppose. Well, chess luge, maybe? That's quite physical. Throwing yourself down ice.
Chess? Oh,
I have no idea how it would work.
No. Playing chess while losing.
That would be amazing. Be very, very short.
There'll be queens.
You've got to try to win the game before you get to the bottom of the course, maybe.
Queens and pawns going all over the place. That's just not a pretty sight whatsoever.
No, it's not. We were talking about Formula One. How did we get onto chess luge?
I can't remember.
It's right. So Formula One.
Yeah,
yes,
you've seen it. Yeah,
I've been to see that. Again, I don't know if you've been to sort of music festivals.
Yes.
Because that's another area of life, isn't it, where people are extremely geeky.
Yeah.
With music and going to music festivals and watching bands and things like that.
Oh yeah.
We went for the whole weekend. It was Silverstone, and it felt like a sporting festival because you went camping and there was lots of people gathering together, having barbecues, doing things, and then all building up to this big event that everybody went to on the Sunday.
Mm.
So that was a very different kind of atmosphere because the sport was almost a secondary thing because you were just there to be with everyone and have a good time.
Yeah.
So I would definitely recommend going. Well, I'm sure you would love to go anyway.
Yeah, I haven't been to it yet. Prices are astronomical.
Correct.
I would love. Sorry?
Unless you can go to Hungary or somewhere like that where it's a bit cheaper.
Well, funny enough, I did think about going to Belgium because it's not as far as all the other tracks. It'll probably be just as cheap. And then I was sat there going, hang on, why do I want to go to another country when I haven't even been to that sport in this country? But it's that balance of, once again, price.
Hmm.
And do you class it as a holiday? Do you not class it as a holiday? And do you go for the whole weekend? See, I'd like to go see Le Mans just for that fact because it is, like you say, it is like a festival, and that is a maybe 4 or 5 days worth of festival.
Yeah.
And you've got so much things going on. You've got a massive fun fair there as well.
Yeah.
You've got shows going on. You've got gigs going on. You've got barbecues. Everyone is there for a barbecue, and camper vanning, camping there, caravans are there. People are just there for the atmosphere. You could almost say that maybe half of their family go there for the racing, but the rest, they're all there for the atmosphere and to meet new people.
Exactly, and that is something that sport is great for, bringing people together.
Yeah,
which is often what people forget. When you see the bad parts of it, you experience the bad elements of that kind of tribalism.
Yeah.
But it also has lots of good good elements as well. And Formula One or motor racing, I suppose that's one of the best things about motor racing is that all of their events are huge things with so many people that it just becomes a big carnival, a big festival.
Yeah, with motorsports in general, you have rivalries between the teams, but you can walk around and see a guy with a Ferrari hat and an Audi T-shirt and some McLaren bottoms and Lotus trainers, and everyone just respects him for liking everything and just being there for that reason of watching a race.
Yeah.
There's none of this, well, hang on, you're wearing a Williams T-shirt, what's going on there? And the McLaren guy is like, no, I'm not sitting anywhere near him. That doesn't happen. It's all shake hands and talk about it and share stories.
Well, it used to happen in Roman chariot races. They used to have the different teams that had different colours, and you'd get people walking around Rome or Pompeii or wherever it was, wearing the colours of the team that they liked, and they would have hostility between each other, between fans of other teams.
And we're back to Millwall.
Yeah, well, exactly. It's not just us. No. It's the Romans as well. What have the Romans ever done for us? Football hooliganism. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Talk about atmospheres.
Yes.
Have you ever been in the Mexican wave?
Plenty.
Yeah.
Usually indoor events, so ice hockey.
Yep.
For example. I can't remember the last time I was in one though. A Mexican wave usually means that nothing's going on. I remember watching the German teams over in Belfast in this tournament that I went to that I was telling you about. So I think they were Berlin fans, and they started doing Mexican waves and doing congas all around the seats, and everyone thought it was hilarious. And the coach, who somebody spoke to later on, said, yeah, he hates it when they do that because that means the team are playing terribly and they're entertaining themselves instead of being entertained by what's happening on the ice.
He's totally correct, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's absolutely correct.
Yeah. You tend to see them more in sort of World Cup games or European Championship games between two sides who are not one of the major teams and they're not the host nation. It's just people have gone out because there were some cheap tickets and something's going on. And they have no affinity between either the teams and just have some fun and wave around, yeah. Yeah,
but normally in an actual championship, that would be the best game to go to. They normally end up being the stonkers of the match, of the competition. Whereas if you have a host, they've got so much pressure on them that they fail to perform.
Yeah, usually.
Doreen in the chat room says Romans made death a spectator sport, which is, yes.
That's true. They did. They were very interested in a bit of violence.
Yeah.
So I suppose we can't really be surprised. The next time you see a Millwall incident in the newspapers, you can know who to blame.
The Romans.
The Romans, yeah.
Or maybe we should buy the paper with the Millwall fans having a fight in it and just draw Roman shields and Roman hats on them. And I reckon that'll work out really well.
I think so.
Yeah.
If you cracked it. We're answering all of the world's problems.
Yeah, it's like when the looters in London, people started photoshopping them with cats. So they were stealing cats. And it was brilliant.
Yeah.
That should always happen. People should do that more.
There was one, Millwall played West Ham a few years ago, and a really fat bloke ran on from the West Ham end, and he was in all the newspapers and all the pictures, and people did that, and they photoshopped this fat bloke into all sorts of circumstance. So he was at Tiananmen Square in front of the tank. He was pipping Usain Bolt in a 100-meter race. It's all that kind of crazy thing. So yeah, you're right. Photoshop, that's the way to go.
Mo Farah got photoshopped in everything. I think there's a website called Mo Farah Runs Away from Things. And it's as he was crossing the line to win his gold medal, he's got his arms outstretched.
Yeah.
And he's got this beaming, surprised face on his mug. And people then decided to Photoshop that in front of marauding people chasing after him
I
and
think
cars.
I've seen it with was it a T-Rex?
Yeah.
Or those chasing him from the one from Jurassic Park or something like that. I've seen, yeah.
Oh, it's just
brilliant.
Love it. In the chat, Jack Woodgate had said a little while ago, here's a question. Is it okay to support a team from another part of the country you have no ties with?
Well, you can answer that because you do, don't you?
I certainly do, yeah.
Yeah. Do you feel it's okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, why is it okay?
Why is it okay? Well, I started supporting Man U when I was at school. And it was just a case of my friends supported. I went through a love-hate relationship with football for a long, long time.
Right.
It was years and years ago, and I totally fell out of love with football. I hated it. I was one of them kids that didn't like football whatsoever. It wasn't that I wasn't good at it or anything like that. When I was a kid, I was alright. I was never the greatest, and I didn't have any delusions of grandeur that I would ever be great, unlike a lot of my friends. And yet, I didn't like the sport for some reason or another. I do not know what happened, but it was just, I can't be arsed with it. And then I went to secondary school and I met some friends and we all started talking, and then we started bonding around, going around friends' houses and just watching football. And then it became bigger and bigger and bigger, and then all of a sudden you're watching a certain team again and again and again. And that's what happened with me. So, I have been up there a couple of times to watch it. There's been some dull matches. The atmosphere at Old Trafford, right, is weird. Utterly weird. Because you get in there and you expect it to be heaving and this mega atmosphere that is just above and beyond absolutely anything else you've ever felt in your life. And you get in there and it is very disappointing. Because half the people in there are there for the first time.
Right. Yeah,
and
you get a lot of tourists.
You get a hell of a lot of tourists.
Like yourself.
Yes.
So it's your fault.
It is my fault, yes. I blame it solely on my fault.
Have we answered the question? No, it's not okay to support a team that's at the other side of the country that you've got.
You're correct. I will stop now.
You need to support Colchester instead. No, don't do that. Don't do that. But see, I follow a lot of American sports, so I've got my teams that I follow, and I have absolutely no ties to them whatsoever.
Atlanta Falcons.
No, I don't follow the Atlanta Falcons.
I do.
Well, we can't all be perfect.
No.
Well, they're quite good, aren't they?
Do you know, I wouldn't have a clue.
Well, I follow the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they're definitely very good. They've won the Super Bowl more times, I think, than anyone else. But I have absolutely no tie to Pittsburgh whatsoever. It was just blind luck. Like you say, you catch them on TV a couple of times, and before you know it, you're watching them lots. Yeah,
that's right.
But then we don't really have a league in this country. There's no American football league per se. Well, there is, but it's tiny.
But we do get the American football come over here into Wembley a couple of times a year.
Which I have been to.
Have you? Is it any good? Because I am thinking about going there. And how long does it last for? Like all day?
About 3 hours.
Oh, okay.
So it's not and if it may go to overtime, but I haven't seen that yet. I've been a couple of times. It is great, and that's another one of where you get lots of people coming together from all the different teams, because there isn't a team in the UK, and you have your team that you follow from America. So everyone goes to watch this big festival of American football when they come over here.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have a game at Twickenham now next year as well.
Okay.
Twickenham.
Yeah.
And Wembley.
Yes.
Yeah, I would definitely recommend it. And the atmosphere is that the players say that it's very different to how it is in America, because you tend to have the home fans and a smattering of away fans.
Yeah.
But they're all more into supporting the one team.
But no one's got a gun in their pocket either. Sorry, America.
This is true. This is true. But they play some games in Canada as well. Occasionally. They've got no guns.
Right.
Yeah. But
They do have bears, but nobody ever smuggles
bears.
A bear into a stadium.
And Mounties.
And Mounties, yes.
There used to be a Mount. Do you remember the wrestler? The Mountie.
No, I was never into wrestling. Although I have been to a WWE event.
That we were talking about a list of 3 things that we want to see.
Yeah.
Do we want to start that now? Because we've only got 10 minutes left.
I reckon we should have a break and then come back and do our lists.
Okay, excellent, because that would have been a great segue, Elton.
Oh,
you've ruined it now.
Well, let's save that segue for later on.
So, what were we talking about? Yes, NFL, Wembley. Yes, definitely go. It's fantastic. All the people there watching the game, waving flags, being friendly to each other, and just enjoying the fact that the NFL is willing to bring a game over.
Yeah.
And the players say that they absolutely love it because it's a very, very different atmosphere. There's constantly something going on. Whereas in America, depending on how the game is, it's either very, very noisy when the opposition team are trying to do something, or it's very quiet because you want your own players to hear each other.
How would you feel if, God forbid, Millwall ended up playing in another country just for promotional purposes, but it went towards their league and they lost?
I don't think I'd mind that much, to be honest. I don't think it would bother me, but I don't really go that often anymore since moving away. I think if you had a season ticket, that would be irritating. If you'd spent all that money and then to lose a game.
Yeah, because you could blame it on the flights and different atmosphere and just pointless, and there'll be people will throw their arms up in the air and say, never do this ever again.
But they do.
Yeah. Okay, we have a question in the chat. It is from Mr Lee Metcalf once again. And it says, is it okay to go to a VIP box and eat the complimentary food and not watch the kickball and rug ball?
Absolutely. Of course it is.
I reckon many
Who wouldn't
people
turn down free food?
Many people do that.
Yeah.
So many people do that. And it's proof on the games themselves. The game kicks off and you can see all them empty chairs in the section just behind the players. Always empty. Always empty. Do you know why? Because they're getting another free complimentary champagne from the bar.
Absolutely. Of course it's particularly for Lee Metcalf. I'm giving him my permission.
What, to go there and do that?
To go and do that, yeah.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Of course it is, yeah. Absolutely. Free food.
Yeah, free food's always a good one. Okay, I'm going to tell you another thing that I've been to.
Go on.
England.
What, the country? I've been there.
I've lost the word now. The team.
The team? Ah.
Yeah, the team England.
Football?
And yes, we had a Mexican wave.
Yep.
I filmed it. It's on YouTube, so people can go watch it over there. The Mexican wave was brilliant. The game was not. The atmosphere was weird, but we also had a row of school kids behind us, and England matches. The ones I've been to, they give you a slight a fan, a cardboard fan snap thing where you can bash it in your hands and make cracking noises, and to have a whole row behind you just cracking that for 90 odd minutes plus is to the point of distraction where you want to get up and murder everyone in the stadium whatsoever. Yep.
Absolutely.
That is horrid.
I take it was a friendly match.
It was England-Denmark, and there was about 3 or 4 subs. It was a friendly. It was a bad match to go to. I don't think I'll ever be going to see them.
Talking about atmosphere, one of the worst sporting atmospheres is England playing at Wembley. Mm-hmm. It's just awful. It's quiet, dull, nothing's going on, or it's annoying, like you say, with the kids screaming and the things clacking and what. Yeah, it's just bad. To the point that I was once offered 2 tickets to go and see England play Holland for free, and he said no. I'd rather not go.
Yeah.
The hassle of going to Wembley and yes, Terrible.
The match I went to as well. It was so boring. Them clacky things of paper. Someone turned them into an aeroplane. And they were trying to get them on the pitch.
There was a famous incident. Talking about atmospheres at England games being terrible. One thing that's fantastic that's come out of it. Do you remember? I can't for the life of me remember who England were playing, but somebody threw an aeroplane from quite high up in the stand, and it floated down slowly, and the whole stadium almost caught up with what was going on. And it went down all the way onto the pitch and hit one of the opposition players in the back of the head.
Yes. And, well, the good thing about that, because that is on YouTube, I've seen that many times. And the whole stadium are going, ooh. and you can see this paper airplane turning and twisting. And every time it turned, the whole stadium, remember, you got, 50, 60,000 people here? Yeah. And they're going, whoa, and it's swooping down, and then it hits that guy in the back of the head, and the crowd went bonkers. Yeah, it was probably the best thing that ever happened there.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, I'm just posting it on the chat now.
You got a link for it. Excellent.
I do. Yeah, there we go.
That was amazing.
It was fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Last 5 minutes before we go for a break. Okay. What would ruin an atmosphere in a stadium like that?
Well, it's just people not wanting to make a noise, I suppose.
Or maybe
not wanting to, or not paying attention, not watching what's going on. But it depends entirely on the sport, because like we talked about cricket.
Yeah.
And that's quite fine to just be sitting there and doing something else and occasionally looking up.
Mm.
Maybe it's because it goes on all day. Whereas football, you're in there for 2 hours.
What about the Vuvuzela?
I used to have one.
Oh, you were one of them, were you?
Somebody I knew went out there and brought me one back.
This was the World Cup in South Africa.
South Africa, that's right, yeah.
And it was a case of the whole world didn't expect the Vuvuzela to kick off so badly. And when everyone was watching their matches, there was this kind of drone, a bee kind of thing, and everyone thought it was the microphones at the stadium, but it turned out to be this drone of vuvuzelas just being blown constantly for the whole match.
Well, at the time, I think it was kind of annoying, and you thought, oh God, what can you stop this horrible noise and muting the TV? But now it's kind of nostalgic. Kind of like, oh, I missed that noise.
I think towards the end of the knockout stages. Yeah. Sorry, before the knockout stages, it took a couple of matches to get used to it, and then the problem with that is you have to get used to it, and then you have to accept it, and then once you've accepted it, then it's not too bad, and it kind of disappears into the background.
Yeah.
But it was just a case of we all had to accept it and encourage it. We can't just go over to South Africa and say, no, you can't blow these.
You can't do this.
No.
Well, actually, that is something that FIFA can do quite happily.
The bastards.
They would be perfectly happy to go to a country and tell them exactly what they can and cannot do.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me.
Brazil, for example.
Right. Okay, right. I think we should wrap it up there just for a bit.
Yep.
We'll all go grab a drink, and then we're back for a part 2 and a final part, and we'll go through a list of sports we want to go see.
Yes.
And I've got some blinders for you.
Excellent.
I've got some.
Mine are probably going to be standard and boring. So.
Oh no, there is one. I want to go through the rules with you, and it is brilliant, utter brilliance. So what we'll do, we'll convene. For the people listening to this on the podcast, we'll be back in a matter of seconds. So that's not too bad. But for the guys in the chat, if you want to stick around, we'll still give out champions of the world. So if you want to be a champion of the world, let us know in the chat room and we'll pass it on to you. Until then, we'll see you in around about 15 minutes. So see you soon.
Excellent.
Welcome back to part 2, Mr. Chat Room. How are you doing? I'm glad everyone is still there.
Hello all.
Yes, definitely.
But we've lost Lee Metcalf. Is that a good thing? I don't know.
Some say it is. Some say it is. And yeah, poor old Lee needs his beauty sleep. So, you know.
I'm saying nothing.
I'm just loading the gun, that's all I'm doing. I ain't firing it, I'm just loading it. Yes, anyway, I'm back, Elton. I'm back here with Mr. Lee Harvey.
Hello.
And we're still talking about sports events. We got lots to cover. This is our last hour, so if we don't cover it in this, then that is it. It is gone, forgotten, forever. Hold your peace. So help you God. I want to hit some champions of the world. We are giving out champions of the world today, so anyone in the chat room wants a champion of the world or be a champion of the world at a certain thing, then let us know. I'll tell you what, you can also, once you listen to this, if you want to go onto the Shonky Lab Facebook group, which is at Shonky Lab, which is at facebook.com/groups/Shonky Lab. You can go on there and put it in the comments down there. If you want to be a champion of the world, put it in there. I shall.
I think it's worth it, isn't it?
Pass it on to
once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah. Exactly.
To be officially the best in the world at a thing.
Yeah. So I will do Mr. Lee Metcalf's now. He asked in the chat room. He wants to be the champion of withering disdain. That doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
But you want him to be the champion of trolling, though, right?
What? That?
They're kind of linked.
Yeah. I think anyone named Lee is pretty good at trolling anyway, aren't they?
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, I think you do.
So withering disdain it is then.
Yeah. What have you decided on yours?
I'm going to be champion of sandwich making.
Ooh.
With a particular specialism in cheese sandwiches.
Nice.
Yeah. That's my thing.
You do realise that now that you're the champion of cheese making, sandwich making,
yeah.
Cheese sandwich making, then you will be expected to offer that service.
Well, I've worked my way up to champion. I'm beyond needing to offer my services now.
Oh no. No, if I come round your house one day and I'm hungry, I'm going to ask for a cheese sandwich.
Okay.
And there's no backing out. There's no, I'm the champion. I can't make that. Oh no, it doesn't work like that.
You'll get one and it'll be lovely.
Okay, that's good. Did you have a text there that you wanted to
yes. Phil Henderson. He wants to be champion of mediocre sport.
Really?
But I'm not sure if that means, champion at being mediocre at sport or of mediocre sport.
I'd say of mediocre sport.
What constitutes a mediocre sport?
Darts, fishing.
Oh, whoa. Now, you can't defend Formula One and then have a go at darts.
Darts, fishing.
Fishing's not a sport.
Well, technically it is because you're physically opposed against the fish.
Chess fishing, you say?
No, I didn't say, funny enough. I don't know where you got that from.
It's just a link from being physically opposed to another boxer, I suppose.
So darts, you like the darts?
Darts is amazing. Darts is brilliant. I've been to watch darts. The cheap one, not the Sky one.
Yeah.
The one at Lakeside. Is that in Essex?
Yes.
It is, yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, that's right. You live in Suffolk, don't you?
No, I live in Essex. I live on the Suffolk-Cambridge Peninsula.
Okay.
It's North Essex, but
But darts, yeah, it's fantastic. It's just a room full of people watching fat blokes throw steel at a dartboard.
Mm.
I've not sold it very well there, but it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of free-flowing pints.
Where was it held?
Lakeside.
I know, but whereabout? Is it in the actual shopping mall itself, or where? Because
not the shopping centre. There's like a hotel.
Oh, okay. Because they used to do.
I have to Google it now to see where it actually was.
In the shopping centre, they used to do 9-ball Yeah, nine ball.
It's at Frimley Green in Surrey. Sorry, not in Essex.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I didn't Google that, honest.
No, I didn't think you did at all. Yeah, do you remember ever watching the nine ball, which was played in a shopping centre, and you saw the lifts going up and down in the background?
No.
People shopping, and Steve Davis playing American nine ball.
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
Not nine ball pool.
Yes, yeah, like massive bucket pockets.
Yeah.
Because they're all terrified of the ball not going in. But then again, it's a totally different game to pool and snooker. Totally different game. But yeah. It's good to watch. They don't do it as much now, though. It was always
very
fun.
fast.
What, American nine ball? Have you ever played it?
Because is that the one where you win if you pot the black?
No, you pop the
at
nine.
Any stage. Yeah, the nine ball.
Yeah, the nine ball.
But you can hit another ball onto it, and then if it goes in, you've won.
Yeah, let's say
you've got to hit the next ball in the sequence.
Yeah, you have to knock the nine balls in sequence, or if you're on the next ball, let's say ball 1 and 2 have gone down, you're on the third ball. If you plant that third ball onto the nine ball goes in, you've won.
You've won, yeah. I've played it, but I've never actually watched it.
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun. But if you ever go to a snooker hall or anything like that to play these games, play snooker first, then pool, and then nine ball. It gets remarkably easier. If you go the opposite direction, you will have a very bad day.
Snooker's impossible.
No, snooker's not impossible if you
is.
start on it. If you start playing nine ball with massive pockets, you get used to that because they're very forgiving.
Okay.
Then if you go, even if you play normal pool, the pockets seem a little bigger, and the I nearly said pitch. The table is a lot smaller.
Right.
And so when you transfer over to snooker, it's you need binoculars to see the other end of the table. It's so far away. It's incredibly.
They are big, aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you ever been to watch snooker?
At the Crucible?
Anywhere?
I've seen people play matches at a snooker club, but never at a TV or televised event. I don't think I would either.
No? Not even the Crucible?
No.
Not even to say I've watched World Championship snooker at the Crucible?
I'd like to, if I did go to that, I wouldn't go to the final. I'd like to go where they're playing like the two matches and sit right in the middle of the two matches so you can see both matches. And I want to be that guy on the TV who's looking around the corner.
Leaning over.
Yeah.
Just there's Elton leaning.
Yeah. I'll just lean for 3 hours. Yeah.
Sounds good.
I would go.
Well, I lived in Sheffield for 4 years and didn't go, so...
Oh, well, there you go.
That's my answer.
Yeah.
Snooker's, it's boring.
I wouldn't say it's boring. I would prefer it to golf.
Absolutely. Golf is not a sport. It's not being allowed.
It's not allowed as a sport?
No.
Really?
Not on this show.
Oh, okay. Not a fan, then?
No.
I wouldn't mind... I don't know. No.
Driving ranges can be fun.
Driving ranges are brilliant.
Yeah, but watching golf as a spectacle.
Yeah, it's one of them games where you'd rather play it than watch it. Definitely.
Absolutely.
And you need a caddy as well.
You don't need one.
Flipping...
You can get in one of those little buggies.
Yeah, they're awesome. No, I've played golf. I told you this story when you came up, but I'm still going to tell it. The first time I tried a proper round of golf, it wasn't even a full round, it was 9 holes. And we went to Crystal Palace. My brother-in-law took me to Crystal Palace. And we went out that morning and we had a brilliant time. It was brilliant. It took flipping ages and I was terrible and I was also very good at some points. That day, when we got back, we'd found out that Tiger Woods had crashed his car and also retired from the world of golf. Coincidence?
I don't think so. I think he had. So can we add you to champion of golf?
I reckon
He clearly thought Elton's on the scene now.
I think he may have heard me tee off and thought, hang on a minute. No, I'm retiring.
There's a disturbance in the golf force. I'm out, yeah.
I can only surmise that he possibly felt it. And maybe in his water or maybe in the smashed windscreen that he was cheating on. I don't know. But yeah, that was a true story, and that was brilliant. I flipping loved that. But so,
Elton McManus, champion of golf. And what was your one? I can't remember.
Rock, scissors, papers.
Rock, papers. Oh, that's a better sport than golf, to be honest.
Yes, it is, yeah.
Both to participate in and to watch.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything else you want to hit on before we get to maybe a list of what we'd like to go see? Oh.
We did see... I was just thinking about... You were talking about going at the snooker.
Yeah.
Watching the earlier rounds. Something I've always wanted to do, which isn't on my list... Wimbledon, but go to the early rounds.
Have you ever been there?
I've been outside it.
Have you queued up?
I've queued up.
I've also queued up.
And we gave up. It's like, dude, not getting anywhere.
We also gave up.
Yeah. So it can't be that good then.
Oh.
We both queued up for a couple of hours and then thought, do you know what? Sod this.
It wasn't a couple of hours. Oh no. We got there around about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
And which is far too late to go to Wimbledon, by the way. And I can't remember what time they opened the gates. But it was raining on and off.
Mm.
And the queue goes for miles, all the way down the road, and then it goes into a field.
It goes through the park, doesn't it?
Yeah. And what year did you go? Because I've got a program. Once again, I bought a program. But I can't remember what year it was. It was maybe 96.
Oh, mine was very recent. 2009, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, even later than that. 2012, maybe.
Really?
Yeah, Andy Murray was playing. That's probably why we didn't get in, to be honest.
Ah.
He's very busy.
Oh no, Andy. Was it Tim? I think Tim Henman might not have even been there. It would have been the guy before him. Oh, what was his name?
Jeremy Bates.
Yeah, Jeremy Bates.
I think Tim Henman was there in the mid-90s.
Was that where he threw a ball?
It was him and Greg Rosetsky.
Yeah.
Were playing, yeah.
Yeah. But even queuing for Wimbledon could possibly be a sport.
Because that's very British, isn't it? The sport of queuing.
Yeah, definitely.
We'd win. We'd definitely win.
It is a very... You need stamina for that. Definitely, for that sort of queuing for hours and hours, and then you have to have the tolerance to feel the rain and think, okay, nobody's coming out now because it's raining. What happens is the games carry on, and then people leave, and then so people are allowed back in. If it's raining, no one's leaving because games aren't finishing, and people want to stay there and watch at least one match. They've queued for 3 hours to get in there.
Yep.
And so when you feel the rain, you think, oh, God, don't start raining again. That means all the covers are going to go off, and that's another 15 minutes. And so,
See, you were talking earlier about collecting. In my head, when you were talking about that, I was thinking, but I'd have the ticket from that day. That'd be a thing that even if I didn't see anything, I could add it to my stack of tickets that I've got.
Yeah.
Ticket stubs.
Yeah, see, I don't even remember how close we got. We got pretty close, but when the rain started again, it was, no, come on, let's go. It's not even worth it. And at Wimbledon train station, they have umpires there as well. Or when I went, they had umpires on umpire chairs on the station. And I think they were the people looking out, like the station masters, type thing. But they were in umpire chairs, sat up like 6 foot up in the air. It's brilliant.
Brilliant. For one day of the year.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks of the year, so they get to sit on these silly little chairs.
I bet they love it. I bet they love it.
Yeah, absolutely.
2 weeks.
Of course you would.
Nobody books any holiday over that. Hang on, the big tall chairs are coming out. Why would I want to go anywhere?
Absolutely.
In the chat room, we have Gaz, and he says golf and snooker need a 2020 element.
She's referring to 2020 cricket there.
Yeah.
That excitement.
Can you explain that? Because I'm not too sure on what that is. I know it's a fast version of cricket.
Yeah. Well, you have Test match cricket, which is the one that takes 5 days. And the idea of that is each team has an innings each. An innings is a bat, basically.
Yeah.
And you have 2 of those each. And you have 5 days to complete the game. And if it's not completed or if there's no winner, then it's a draw. 2020 is all of that condensed into some very, very small. So it takes about 3 hours. But which means that they're slogging the ball. They're just trying to score runs as quickly as possible.
Right.
So it's more exciting. It's a lot faster, and people will get out quicker. And the reason why it's called 2020 is because that's referring to the amount of overs that you have. An over is 6 bowls, and you're only allowed 20.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense, yeah. They also get to wear colourful uniforms.
Yeah, and it's all snazzed up, and there's pop music, and there's cheerleaders, and it's played in the floodlights, and noise and excitement and things is encouraged, whereas it's more sedate if you go to Lord's for a Test match. That's, as we talked about.
It's the rock and roll version of cricket.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And for Sky Sports and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Cool.
It's a lot more exciting. A very, very different game. It's kind of, when you see the big shots hit in cricket or baseball.
Yeah.
It's lots of those. Because no one's trying to, because in a Test match you've got 5 days, so you don't want to get out. You try to stay in as long as possible. Whereas in this, you've only got an hour and a half. Get as many runs as you can.
Right. Okay. So you just leather it.
Exactly, but that means you'll get out more easily.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a much more exciting version of the game.
Right. Okay.
But how you do that for golf or for snooker, I don't know.
Golf, the ball is never allowed to stop. So you hit, and it's up to you. You have to catch your ball up. How about that? Or
yeah, I don't. Or you've got only 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah,
Get to the ball. You've got to play it again within a certain amount of time.
That's brilliant. On a 3-par, you get 3 minutes to do it. On a 5-par, you get 5 minutes to do that hole.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Seeing people sprinting after.
Yeah.
What if they lost the ball? I can't find it. You've only got 30 seconds left. Quick.
Oh, there's something there, isn't there?
I'd watch that.
I'd watch a man with a stick knocking a small ball around. Yeah, definitely. While he's running.
Because suddenly they'd have to be fit as well, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
There's you wouldn't be able to have a caddy. Or maybe they would. Maybe they'd have proper athletes would be the caddy. And he'd run. Or she would run ahead.
The caddy, it'd just be, it'd be something like out of Bear Grylls, wouldn't it? Just a guy with a massive pack on his back with lots of wooden and metal sticks sticking out of it. It'd be something like out of Mad Max.
Well, Jack Woodgate suggests trail bikes.
What, for golf?
Yes.
Yes, I'm sure the groundsman would love that.
I would watch that as well.
Or maybe just stay in the buggies.
I think I'd prefer their bikes, but you're not allowed off the bike.
Oh, yeah, you have to take your shot from the bike.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like polo, but on bikes.
Yeah, but golf.
Yeah.
You do get these weird cross sports, though. There's foot tennis. Have you seen that?
No, but I'm sure I've played that in my front room when I was a kid with my brother.
It's tennis, but kicking the ball.
Right.
Well, it's not a tennis ball. I think it's a football.
Okay.
And there was that other one. There was that other one that you showed me about. Was it volleyball with the what are they called? Do you know the gym balls?
Yeah,
not medicine balls. the big, soft ones.
The ones that you sit on, like,
Yeah.
to crunch your tummy.
Knocking the ball around.
Did you actually see that video? Because that video is
yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And it was volleyball, but with massive balls to use instead of your hand.
Yeah. I've seen, there's unicycle polo.
Okay.
Polo on unicycles. I've also seen unicycle hockey, as in ice hockey, but not on ice. It was in a sports hall. Chess boxing, sorry.
Yeah, chess boxing.
Not chess golf. That would yeah.
No.
That wouldn't work.
Nobody's going to pay to watch that.
No. Foot golf, Gaz has suggested. That is definitely a thing.
Okay, foot golf. Would that be with golf balls, or would it be with footballs?
It's golf, but with footballs in football-sized holes, and you kick it.
You'd feel like you was a borrower, wouldn't you? as Danny Davies says, I, a borrower, am playing golf.
I'd watch that as well.
I could deal with that. That would make golf good.
Yeah, exactly.
Very good. Yeah.
Right, we've wandered into sports that don't even exist.
Yeah, crazy land.
Barely exist. Yep.
Right, let's get it back. You wanted to mention about the sound of when you was at the Formula One.
Formula One, yes. That is something that really makes the atmosphere as well during the event itself. The smell and the sound of a Formula One car.
Mm.
I know they've changed recently because they've got a lot more sort of electronics within the engine, haven't they?
Yeah,
something changed.
They've made a smaller engine, and you got a hybrid system there.
Yeah, but even like walking up to the track for a mile or two away, you could hear that roar and the revving of the engines. It's amazing.
Where did I go? I went to one of these drag racing meets. Oh, I can't remember the name of it. There's one up in Milton Keynes somewhere, and you walk up to that and you can hear the cars just tearing away. There is a certain atmosphere at a racetrack.
Yeah,
that is just amazing. It's the smell. You get a certain smell there as well. It's just the petrol and the petrol heads and everyone there. Funny enough, I nearly got run over by Dr. Jonathan Palmer at Brands Hatch once. He used to be a Formula One driver. His son is now racing in Formula One. And I went to the toilet at Brands Hatch. I walked all the way back. I was walking towards the grandstand I was in, which is on the first corner. And he came out on a moped. And he was going through everyone. He missed someone. And then almost collected me at the same time. So thanks for that. Next time I will stick a stick in your spokes, you git.
Do they have spokes on mopeds? Of course they do, yeah.
I think that's how a wheel works, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a track, I went to Brands Hatch to watch the DTM. Which is the German touring car.
Oh, okay.
And these are heavy, heavy monsters. These are brilliant. And you did have the likes of Hakkinen driving these around at the same time I was there. And the rumble of these cars, you can feel it in your chest, and everyone around you can feel it as well. And you can feel it in your bottom because the whole grandstand is shaking.
It's brilliant, isn't it?
Everyone gets excited because all the cars are going round. And when they rip past you, you're, oh my God, that's amazing.
That is something that's great about any sport that you're watching. If there's a lot of noise, if the atmosphere is really ramped up, it gets right through you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had it anything from a motor race to being at Millwall, when everyone's behind it and making a lot of noise. It's incredible. Your hairs stand up on your arm. It's brilliant.
Oh, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I mean, have you ever been to Speedway?
No, I have a couple of friends who go and watch that quite a lot. But no, I've never been.
That's a similar kind of engine smell and noise. And I mean, these bikes, they don't have brakes. And they just hurtle around the track. they have to twist. You've seen it. They have to twist the bike around
Yeah.
to get it round the corners because they've got no braking.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going to see that. Actually,
I would recommend going to Watts Speedway.
Like you said, there would be geeky people there collecting data on who's coming first, second, and third all the time.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd respect that person for doing that as well.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be good though.
In Scandinavia they do it on ice.
Yes, they do.
So
they also do rallying on ice as well.
Yeah. Well, you're in a car. That's not quite as dangerous, surely. These bikes have massive spikes on the wheels.
Yeah.
So there's you on your bike. There's 3 other people racing you. All of the bikes have huge, deadly spikes on them. You're on ice and you've got no brakes.
Why are there not more people killed on this? Honestly.
But they're very good at driving over in Scandinavia, aren't they?
Yes, they are. Yeah.
That'll be why.
Yeah. Okay. Any other events you've been to?
Probably.
Yeah.
They can't be that memorable.
Okay, fair enough.
Of course. The big one, the Olympic Games.
Ah, you went there?
We had in 2012, yeah. For 2 weeks of the year, London was not a horrible, horrible place to live.
In fact, it was the quietest place in the world.
The quietest?
Yeah, because people decided to take either 2 or 3 weeks off on holiday because they were worried about it being busy or work from home. And everyone found that everyone else had also done that as well.
Maybe that's what it was, because I was still there.
Yeah, and so London was very quiet.
Yeah. I had a really great time. That entire sporting tournament, there was so much to go and see. Even if it wasn't in the actual venues itself, there were things going on in the streets. So the speed walking, the marathons, the various cycling races, there's all sorts going on.
Speed walking.
Speed walking.
Right, I've got to Google something. Go on, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, we made a deliberate effort to go and see that because there's not a sillier thing anywhere. It's like the Ministry of Silly Walks, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
The people waddling around. Just run.
Right, okay. If I've heard this on another podcast, I would give them credit. It was on Geek Nights.
Okay.
And every now and again, they bring up race walking or speed walking.
Yeah.
And the idea of race walking or speed walking is you have to walk from a point A to a point B in the quickest time, but one foot has to always be on the ground.
Correct.
And I've seen this on TV, and lots of people have been kicked out of this for
running,
yeah. Once both feet leave the ground, you are in the air and you're classed as jogging or running, aren't you?
Yep.
The Wikipedia, if you go to Wikipedia and put in race walking, the picture that you get associated with that page has people race walking.
Okay.
And there is a person running in that picture. So the official picture on Wikipedia is someone cheating at race walking.
I'm just having a look.
It is glorious. It's hang on. What number is he?
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, number 114. He's running. He's cheating.
You're absolutely right. There's another one further down. The next picture, the guy who's in the lead, he's clearly running.
Well, that's why he's in the lead. Because he's a cheating bastard.
And the next one down, they're all running. It's a sham sport, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the only people that aren't running are the spectators. Everyone else is running.
We've uncovered the cheating syndicate of world athletics.
Yeah. Okay. Should we do the list of things that we'd like to go see?
Go on then. So are we going to work from down up?
Oh, we can work from down up or up down or anything.
What do I mean there?
I don't know.
From the our third choice upwards. That's what I mean.
Yeah, well, I've got more than 3.
You've got more. Okay.
Yeah,
well, I've said tennis, Wimbledon. So that could be my number 4. So if you start off with your lowest one.
Okay. Well, how many have I got here? I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got 6, 7.
Okay.
I've got 7, and I want to run through the rules on one of them, so I'll save that till last.
Okay. Well, I've just got the 3.
Okay. Well, once again, I would still love to go to see the Formula 1 and Le Mans. That is on my list. Because of the atmosphere, because of the party nature of it as well, because of the camping nature of it as well.
Yeah.
And just a general weekend away doing that. I'd like to do it, I'd like to get there the day earlier and leave a day later as well. Yeah. Just so I get the whole experience, and I don't have to leave on that. Once the race is over, then you go. No, you want to still chill out. You want to still enjoy it. So I'd like to do that.
I agree. If you went into a Formula 1 race, where would you like to stand or sit?
I would like to. Well, I'd like to go see all the races, obviously, but I would like to go to Spa in Belgium.
But at the track.
At the track.
Whereabouts in the track would you like to be? On a corner, on the main grandstand, somewhere? If
you go to Spa, you have to go Eau Rouge.
Right.
Which is a wicked fast, flat out, down turn left, and then you start turning right as you're going up the hill. And it's a massive gradient change. So I'd like to go there.
Okay.
It's an obvious one, but it's the place to be.
Because when I went to Silverstone, I'm not sure what the first corner's called.
When did you go?
In 2002.
Okay, so it was the old circuit.
Right.
Okay. What was?
We basically chose to stand in a place where there were no screens.
Yep.
So we had no idea what was going on for the entire race. We only knew who was still racing because you'd have to count them come past.
Yep.
But we did that because we got to see the start and everyone fly into the first corner. And there was a few crashes and lots of smoke, and it was great.
Okay, the first corner is called Cops.
Yeah. So we sacrificed knowing what was going on for the entire race just for that one experience of watching the start.
Yeah.
And it was well worth it. It was great.
Good man.
And we followed Eddie Irvine around, and we only realised he'd quit when he didn't reappear for about 10 minutes. You thought, well, he must be out.
Is that the year that the crazy man ran up the track?
Yes.
It was that year?
Oh no, do you mean when he ran towards Michael Schumacher?
Yeah, and David Coulthard. There was a guy who got over the track limits and ran up the actual racetrack as the race was going on with a Scottish flag, I think it was. Another Scotch.
No, it wasn't that year. But I think there was somebody who. Do you remember the man who dresses up as the sports people and gets onto photographs?
Yes, the one who got into the England football team.
Yes, yep. It was that year when he put on a red jumpsuit and walked out ahead of the drivers pretending to be Michael Schumacher.
Oh, blimey. What happened to that guy? He should come back.
I think he'd be arrested if he did.
I wonder if they'd still recognise him, because he got onto that football team. That was genius.
It was on the end of the Manchester United photo, wasn't it?
He did England as well.
Has he?
Yeah, he did England.
Oh, right.
I swear he did England.
I believe you. Doreen says Glasgow was good during the Commonwealth Games as well.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. Major athletics events bring out the best in... Well, maybe they just make the worst people move out for a couple of weeks.
Possibly, yeah.
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 Because, of course, all the good people in the world like sports.
Exactly. There we go.
There we go.
That nice little dig there. Well done, you.
So, go on. What's the next one on your list then?
I'd like to go see a Champions League final.
Why the Champions League final? Why not a different football final?
Why not a different football final?
What's specific about that one?
Well, it's the biggest one in football, isn't it?
Is it?
It's the
bigger than the Johnson's Paint Trophy final?
just a wee bit, yeah.
Or the World Cup final, maybe?
In money terms, it is bigger. It's a lot bigger than the World Cup.
But whose money? It's just going to the clubs. I mean, surely you want the prestige of winning the World Cup.
Oh, God, yeah. Anyone would give away a Champions League final. But the World Cup, yeah, it's every 4 years. I don't know. I think I really like Champions League football.
Right, okay.
I like World Cup football as well. That's fine. But Champions League football, there's an air of something about it that I really like.
If you had the choice between going to the World Cup final to watch England or the Champions League final to watch Manchester United or Colchester, let's be fair.
Yeah.
Which one would you go to?
Ooh. That's a hard one. That's what she said.
Said the actress to the bishop, yeah.
I'd go for the... Why do you have to put these questions on me? Okay, let's go for the Man U one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think I'd go to see Millwall ahead of England as well.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's more, they're there all the time. You follow these teams every week.
Yeah.
England just come and go. Usually go in their tournament record.
Yeah. They normally pool with someone to get home, don't they? Normally pool with France, because France is on the way home for England.
I was going to say Scotland, but then that would require them to have qualified.
Yeah, they need to get in there, don't they?
Yeah.
Well
Wales.
Done. Your dicks are very good today. Yeah, well done.
Yeah. England can come back with Wales next year.
Yeah.
This year. There we go, sorted.
What's your next one?
Right, my third WWE wrestling.
Have you ever seen it?
I haven't.
I have.
Sports entertainment, isn't it? It's something that I haven't followed since I was sort of 19 or 20.
Yeah.
But to go and actually watch it must be absolutely hilarious. It must be a lot of fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Because it is just pantomime, isn't it?
Exactly.
I know there's a lot of sports
There's an awful lot of talent.
Yes.
Athleticism.
That's the word. Thank you.
That's the one. There is a lot of talent there, but it is, first and foremost, a pantomime, a soap opera.
It is a soap opera. There, you have villains, you have your heroes, but they do go through... They are stuntmen getting kicked around, aren't they?
Yes.
But then again, it's all premeditated, so you can kind of... It's all conjured up way beforehand, possibly weeks beforehand.
Yes.
It's all choreographed stunt work in front of an audience.
But then you don't know what's going to happen. So I just think it would be massively entertaining to go and watch that.
Well, I took my son a couple of years ago. I can't remember when it was. And we were right up in the nosebleed areas. We went to the Dome to watch it. And it was WWE. I didn't even know it changed from WWF to WWE. I walked in. Oh, okay. You changed the name, have you? Yeah.
Did you go and check for the ticket and say, "Excuse me, I've paid for WWF. What's this?"
I was being a bit obnoxious and going, "They've got the name wrong. This is wrong." And it was fun. There was a point where my son was watching it. He was thoroughly enjoying it. I was probably enjoying it more because he was enjoying it. Yep. If I was there on my own, I don't think I'd last that long. But he was really enjoying it. There was people fighting. There's lots of fireworks and lots of music as people come out. And then John Cena came out, and he went bonkers. My son stood up and jumped up. And his body went all tense. And he's, "Oh my God, it's John Cena! Oh my God!" It was just adorable. I was there for Kelly, obviously.
Yep.
And saw her prancing around. So that was awesome. My day was made. And I would recommend it for people who are already into it, I wouldn't recommend it for people who haven't seen the sport and are just looking for a sport.
Okay.
Definitely.
Brilliant. So thumbs up for WWE.
Yeah, why not?
That wins, yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
why not?
So what's your next choice?
Arm wrestling.
That doesn't strike me as a fantastic spectator sport.
Have you seen the videos where someone gets their arm broken during arm wrestling?
No.
Okay. Not safe for work, let's put it like that.
Right.
They are grim. If you've got two massive man mountains going at it, hammer and tong, and when I say hammer and tong, they're not moving, they are totally cancelling each other out. But then all of a sudden, you hear a crack.
So you want to break each other's arms, basically?
I don't want to see that. No, I like the film over the top, and so I'm going to just enjoy it anyway.
Okay.
But, yeah, just Google arm wrestling broken arm. Flipping hell. That's enough to give you horrors, but that'll be good to watch as well.
Fair enough. So how many have you got left?
I had chess boxing on my list, so I'll wipe that off because we've spoken about that quite a lot.
Covered chess boxing.
Yeah, I've got my last one. Let's just go with my last one.
Shall I go for my second one then?
Yeah, go
on. Boxing.
What, real boxing?
Proper boxing.
What, heavyweight or
well,
what?
you have a few fights, don't you? So you have the main one.
So you want to go to
I think if you want to see a big world heavyweight fight, and then you'll have an undercard of 3 or 4 fights as well.
Right.
I'd love to see that.
Okay.
Because boxing is... I've never really got into sort of kickboxing or mixed martial arts or anything like that. I think because you're reducing it down to just your fists, it takes more skill to be good at it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's why I've never really got into MMA, because you can do whatever you like.
Yeah, it's all forms, isn't it?
Yeah, so it just turns into people grappling on the floor. Whereas there's some style to boxing. You've got to outwit your opponent as much as outpunch them.
But didn't boxing go through a period of really boring, poor heavyweight champions?
Yes, it's still going through that. Although Anthony Joshua, is that his name? Who's coming through at the moment. Looks pretty exciting. But that's partly because of the way that matches are being fixed, as in set up, by promoters.
Wait, wouldn't you think that it's highly corrupt anyway? Allegedly, by the way.
Oh, no, I don't mean fixed in terms of the winners. I just mean organised.
Right, okay.
So it used to be that you would have to fight 4 or 5 times in a year to defend your crown. Now it's maybe once, maybe twice.
Yeah.
So there's just not that. You don't get these big rematches. You don't get fighters fighting plenty of times, fighting each other plenty of times to go to defend their titles.
Yeah. I don't know.
But I would love to go and see. I mean, it's like any sport, it's pot luck as to whether it's going to be that good.
Well, that's the name of the game, really, isn't it?
But if you get a proper, really good heavyweight fight, that would be great.
Oh yeah, I can understand. I can understand the appeal. As soon as I think of boxing, though, I think of Mike Tyson coming out of prison and Don Thompson there waiting with a limo.
Yeah.
And you think, you dodgy little sod. Not Tyson as well, because he got out of prison for rape, and he's still lauded above everyone else, isn't he?
Yeah.
But also Don Thompson there. Is it Don Thompson? Am I thinking of the right person?
The guy with the big hair?
Yeah.
Don King.
Don King, that's it.
Yeah.
Don Thompson. Why am I thinking Don Thompson? I don't know where that's come from. Yeah, Don King. Yeah, just a sleazy, smiling, dodge Pop McDougal, as far as I'm concerned.
But that's not all boxing.
No, it's not. No.
That's just him.
No, that was his way, and he liked it that way. So, yeah. Allegedly, of course. I don't want to be sued or anything, because he could sue my ass and then destroy me. So,
he could, then there'd be no more Shonky Lab.
No, but then I'm sure...
Or you could do it from prison, I suppose.
I don't think they're allowed equipment in the prison. It's just the wires and stuff like that. I think they might be used for something else. Right.
We're getting sidetracked again.
Yes, right. Shall I do my number one?
Go on then.
I'd like to go see a match of Kabadi.
Is that the Indian sport?
Oh, yes.
It's British Bulldog, essentially, isn't it?
Well, can I read out the international rules for this?
Go on.
Right. This is on the Wikipedia. So bearing in mind, I'm going from a place where they have race walking, right. And the photo of that is people running.
Yes, and none of the people in those photos are walking.
Exactly, yes, right. So on Wikipedia, it says, the international team version of Kabadi, 2 teams of 7 members each occupy opposite halves of the field, 10 metres by 13 metres in the case of men, 8 metres by 12 metres in case of women. Each have 3 supplementary players in reserve, so you got 3 subs.
Okay.
The game is played 20-minute halves and a 5-minute half-time break, during which each team exchange sides. Okay, we're all okay at the moment, aren't we?
Yeah.
This is where it gets bonkers. The team takes turns in sending a raider into the other half of the pitch. To win a point, the raider must take a breath, run into the opposite half, tag one or more members of the opposite team, and then return to his home half before inhaling again.
So he it's an arbitrary time period then. It's just as long as I can hold my breath.
And run.
I can tag it. Yeah. You didn't even think of that.
Yeah, so you
running
got
without,
running and holding your breath. Now, the raider will chant Kabadi, Kabadi.
Hang on, so he's not allowed to breathe?
No.
But he's chanting Kabadi, Kabadi.
Ah, here we go. The raider will chant Kabadi, Kabadi with his exhaling breath to show the referee he has not inhaled. The raider will then be declared out and will not gain the point if he inhales before returning to his side. or returns without touching an opponent. The tag defender will be out, and if they do not succeed in catching the raider who has tagged them, wrestling the raider to the ground can prevent him from escaping before he needs to inhale.
Wow.
So it's a sport where you have to run and hold your breath and then shout Kabadi to prove that you're not taking another breath in. It seems bonkers, but I would love to go see something like that.
I think to really appreciate it, you've got to play it. That sounds like a great game to have a go at.
I think it would be, yeah.
Yeah.
It was always on Transworld Sport on Channel 4.
That's a quality sports program.
Yeah, exactly. Sunday mornings, Transworld Sport will come on and you get your weekly dose of international...
Of randomness.
Yeah, that's
international nonsense.
Ping
I think
pong.
that would be what Phil Henderson would be champion of. Mediocre sport, Transworld Sport, basically.
Yeah. There we go.
It was always sailing and things, wasn't it?
Sailing, ping pong, archery.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kabadi.
it's wonderful. Wonderful. Go on, what's your number one then?
My snowboarding.
Ooh, okay.
And it's basically represents the Winter Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to specify particular sports, didn't we? So snowboarding. I don't know if you watched the last Winter Games. All of the Winter Games, everything that they do is brilliant.
I catch it when it's on. I don't sit down. When it was in Russia recently, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
Sochi.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And following the British athletes is fantastic because there's no pressure on them whatsoever. They're all, by and large, terrible, except for Skeleton. That's sliding headfirst down a mountain on ice on a tea tray.
Oh, the lady won it, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yep.
And all of the sports are dangerous. Basically, add ice to anything, and it makes it much better.
Mm-hmm.
But snowboarding, yeah, with the freestyle, when they're all jumping and spinning and doing all stuff, and everybody looks really cool with all the snowboarding gear on, and all the crowd are loving it, and there's music going. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, okay. Have you ever done snowboarding?
I haven't.
It's really hard.
Is it?
It's really hard.
Well, there's Eddie Izzard said there's only two styles of snowboarding. It's looking cool or dead. There's no in between.
I've only ever done it on a dry ski slope.
Yeah.
And the last time I went, I ended up cracking the back of my head with my board.
That's quite impressive.
I scorpion kicked myself in the head.
That's showing some flexibility there.
Yeah, that was quite painful. I'm not very good at all. My friend, he's very good, and I used to borrow one of his wife's boards to go with him once a week, just for the crack of it, and because he wanted someone to go with. And so there's him just on the barrels and the half pipes and stuff like that, and having fun. And there's me falling leaf all the way down, not very good. And I was getting all right, but I wouldn't consider myself anywhere near decent or half decent at all.
Sort of arms flailing everywhere.
Arms are all right. It's more twisting the torso to get that working all right. But if you get your leading edge stuck in the dry slopes, then that's it. You're done for. And this time, my whole body was facing forwards down the hill. And I was leaning back, and I had my trailing edge digging into the ground, which you're supposed to do. Right. And for some reason, turning was my problem, and my leading edge dug in. And at that point, then you're just a passenger. And so then you hit belly first on the floor, but you're not going to hit the flat floor. You've got that other meter to fall down. So you're already falling at quite a rate. And then my whole body was there, my face was planted on the floor, arms all over the place, and the momentum of my body carried my feet all the way over and cracked my head. And yeah, I think that was the point where I went, right, that's it, I've had enough for tonight.
No more. Yeah. But do you think, we were talking about watching sports, having a go at something really helps you to appreciate. Maybe I was saying joking about Formula One not being a sport earlier.
Yeah.
I don't drive, so I have no bearing on how difficult it actually is.
Yeah.
Obviously, going at 200 miles an hour is going to be difficult in anything.
Well, anyone can go fast in a straight line.
Yeah.
That's not the challenge of that. It's more getting around the corners and getting around the track as quickly as you can. And driving something small like a Formula Ford or something like that at Brands Hatch is still very demanding.
But because you've had that experience of snowboarding, even if it's just a little bit, if you were to go and watch that and watch them flip around and spin around, you'd have a much better appreciation of it.
Oh yeah. Well, we've both played football.
Yes.
And five-a-sides, and I know when you was up, we were talking about that quite a lot. And I've played with some people that are very, very good, indeed.
Yeah.
And there's me, there's like the good people around me, and then there's so many other levels up from that, and then you get to semi-professional, and then there's a massive gulf between that and then the tops. And you can really, when you're around them people that are playing the top end of the spectrum, you can just see it. Everything, the control on absolutely everything is just so quick and mind-blowing to what you can actually put out there.
Yeah.
Looks easy. Looks well easy. But doing it is just another thing.
I know, I've tried American football before.
Yeah.
And you don't realise, because you see some of the athleticism of those players, the way they catch the ball and leap up above things and run so fast. It's actually really difficult to move around in all that padding.
Mm.
And it's quite top heavy as well, because you've got all the stuff on your shoulders and your helmets and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, even though I've only tried it a couple of sessions, you do get that huge appreciation. It's a massive difference between watching something you've got no experience in.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree.
Like, I mean, ice hockey, for example, the professional players, they're skating before they can walk. They're on the ice before they can walk.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm still very much wobbly. I've been described as Bambi.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Just flailing limbs and struggling to stay up.
No, I totally agree. Totally agree.
And you see these guys flying around, and they're not even thinking about it, because they're thinking about controlling the puck and doing that. I mean, people say, you know, these footballers get paid so much money, but the top footballers have been doing nothing else but football since they could walk.
Yeah.
You know, spending every waking hour that wasn't at school or asleep. Well, that's not a waking hour, I suppose, is it?
No, that wouldn't be classed as a waking hour.
Every waking hour, apart from, you know, eating.
Apart from the ones where I'm asleep,
at school. Yeah, and being asleep. Playing football.
Oh, dear. Did the troll just troll himself?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too many words.
Yeah. Okay, right. We've got 4 minutes left. Is there anything else you'd like to mention on sports events?
Probably. But nothing's jumping to mind.
Okay.
The enthusiasm of European supporters generally compared to here.
Yeah.
I think. Well, they do have problems with football violence like we do. But they also tend to be when it's not violent, it's just, you know, the whole stadium's jumping up and down. I watched a hockey match in the Czech Republic, and it was only a friendly, and there was just a huge terrace, and it was rammed full, and everyone was jumping up and down and singing and waving scarves around. It was fantastic.
Mm. Whereas
here we were a bit more reserved.
Yeah.
Or nasty.
Yeah, the nasty bit is the bit that we don't want in sport at all.
Although I suspect it's just that because we don't understand, well, I didn't understand the language, they could have been being really nasty as well.
Yeah, it's true. Right, I'm going to leave it there if that's all right.
Awesome, yeah. Right,
thank you to everyone that's joined us in the chat room. Is there anything you'd like to plug before we ditch this?
Not really.
No?
This is the first podcast I've done, so I've got nothing. No. Buy maps. There you go.
Buy maps.
Buy Ordnance Survey maps.
Okay.
That's my work will be pleased.
Buy a map and save.
And go out. Yeah, and look for cricket pitches on it, and then go and watch cricket. There you go.
There you go. Excellent. Okay. Well, I'm going to finish by saying thank you to everyone in the chat room for joining us. You've been absolutely wonderful. Thank you to everyone who's downloaded this as well. You're all totally awesome. iTunes reviews are also welcome. I'm just saying it helps us climb up a magical ladder that doesn't really exist. Please go check out the Black Dog podcast, which I'm involved in with Lee Metcalf, Darren Barnard and Mr. Jim Moon. Please go to rogue2.com where all of this is housed. And if you go over to there, you can find the Patreon details, which it gives you a whole list of everything that will help us create more shows in the future. I think that's around about it. Yeah, I think it is. Okay, so thank you, Lee, for joining me.
No worries. Thank you.
It's been excellent, and I will end on this note. Please leave quietly. This is a residential area. Okay, so all the people that were in the live room, I'm really sorry we ran out of time.
Okay.
But this is the extra little bit that you get on the end of the podcast, just to give you an incentive to download it. Even though you've already heard it live, this is the incentive. We are giving you the gold here. We've just had a Kabadi tournament between ourselves, which sounded terrible.
Which I won comfortably.
Yes, you did.
Let's not forget that.
I will cut that out and put it at the end of this. It's
Okay.
all like time travelling, so we've already done that. But you
No, I've just told everyone who won.
Oh no, don't. Well, okay, but people listening to that, forget that he said that he won, because he didn't, because he's a loser.
It's true.
Yeah, I won.
You did win comfortably.
See, now they're confused. Brilliant.
Excellent.
This is gold.
Well done, us.
Yeah.
That Sony award is definitely coming this week.
Oh, if
you're not getting it for Mr. Spoon, you're definitely getting it for this.
I can almost hear it knocking on my door now. But anyway, okay, football chants. We forgot to talk about football chants, and so we'll do it really quickly now. So, I just asked you, what was your worst football chant or whatever, and you waffling on about something. So go, carry on with the ball. You've got it.
It was the Tottenham fans singing particularly racist stuff. I think it was the worst one I've heard.
Yeah.
Millwall fans do something about Bobby Moore and his sexuality, which isn't great.
No.
My favourite one, which
this isn't winning me the gold Sony yet,
which made me chuckle.
Yeah.
Was the at Bristol, Millwall fans during the foot and mouth crisis were singing, complete with actions, head, shoulders, foot and mouth to the Bristol fans, which made me chuckle.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
What did I hear?
Quite imaginative for South London's finest, actually.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Didn't involve any swearing, which is more surprising than anything else.
Yeah, they normally tend to get a swear word in there somewhere, don't they? When we was at Colchester and Millwall,
yeah,
they started. There was a funny bit where the Colchester stand, the opposite end to where you were. By the way, you nearly copped a ball in your head.
Yeah, I saw it.
If I'd phoned you 1 minute before, you might have copped that ball in your head. I'm gutted that you didn't. That was hilarious. But anyway, the Colchester fans started singing and swearing at you guys, and Jacob looked at me going, "Well, no, don't worry. They were singing about something about you guys being wankers or something like that."
Yeah.
It was hilarious. But they also started singing, "You're not singing anymore," or "We can't hear you singing." And so the Millwall fans decided to go, "Mill."
Yeah, they make that noise, don't they? They call it the monk chant, and it's just like that.
Yeah, just a drone.
As long as you can. But funny you talking about Kabadi. Because that's probably why I may see. I've ruined it again by giving away who's won.
No, it's all right. It's carry on.
That's if I was to win the Kabadi competition.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. It's unlikely, but if I were, it would be through years of going to the den and doing that chant and going Mill for as long as you possibly can, and it doesn't finish.
Oh no, it carries on.
You don't do the wall bit; it just stops.
Yeah.
Eventually, so on the good atmospheres, that noise will go on for 5-10 minutes, and you can see the opposition players just think, you know what, I don't want to be here.
Yeah, it's got that sense of unnervousness.
Yeah. It does work very well.
The worst chant I've heard, bearing in mind I've only been to a handful of games.
Yeah.
I went up to Old Trafford to watch Man U Arsenal. I was given a ticket, luckily enough. And Arsene Wenger, every time he stood up and walked to the box, the whole stadium, bar maybe even some of the Arsenal supporters as well, were singing "Sit Down, You Paedophile."
I've also heard with a packet of sweets and a cheeky smile, Wenger is a dirty paedophile.
Yeah.
I don't know who sang that one.
Now, we're not saying that he is a paedophile. There are no allegations
allegedly.
whatsoever. I think
it's not even allegedly, is it? There's just nothing.
No, there's nothing. It's just that he looks... He wears
a big coat.
And he looks like the child snatcher from Chitty Chitty Bang Bang sometimes. Maybe. He's got that air of... I don't want to say air of paedophilia around him. Because he hasn't.
He's got a packet of sweets.
And a puppy.
And a van. Not allegedly, but not proven either. There's just nothing.
No, there's no...
This is an imaginary world.
I would lay it on my house that there is nothing like that connected with him.
Nothing whatsoever.
Why he gets that, I do not know.
I have a theory that football managers come into two categories. They look like a football manager, like Jose Mourinho with the suit and the tie and all that stuff. Or they look like a paedophile with the sports coat, the baseball cap. You know, that look. And I won't name any particular names.
No, please don't.
But yeah.
Wow. Anyway, so
that's just my thinking. How did this is the bonus gold that you're giving people?
Apparently, yeah.
Talking about racist chants and paedophilia.
What more?
Get into sports, kids. It's fantastic.
Oh dear. Right. Okay. I think we'll end the goldness here. Right. Now we'll follow is a Kabadi tournament between myself and Lee.
With an unspecified winner.
We do not know.
No one knows who won.
No.
I don't even know, and I was in it.
Okay.
Or was I?
Let's leave it there. Okay. Right. Are you ready?
I am.
This is for the World Championship.
Okay.
Yeah, you sure?
Yep.
You up for it?
Yep.
You don't look like it.
You can't see me.
I'm goading you.
Okay, let's go.
I'm scaring
Bring
you.
it. Bring it.
Great bands. Top bands.
Come at me, boy.
No, don't give it. Don't give it. I'll take you down to Chinatown.
Your mum.
Oh, no blow. Shots fired.
Yeah, come on then. Let's go.
Okay, right. You ready?
Yep.
Right. 3, 2, 1, and then start taking your breath. Okay.
Okay. Yep.
I nearly breathed in then. Right. Bang. I've just got to stretch.
Stretch your jaw.
Yeah.
Stretch your lungs. Yeah, you done. All right. There's less of that.
Ready. 3,
family.
2, 1.
Kabadi, Do I win?
Yes, you do, yes.
Kabadi.
I couldn't even say the word Kabadi.
Kabadi. Yeah, I'll breathe now. Go me.
Yeah, you.
So I'm the champion of Kabadi as well.
Yeah, turns out so. And cheese making.
And cheese sandwich making. Yeah.
Cheese making. Yeah, cheese sandwich making.
I'll take cheese making as well if you want. I mean, I've never made cheese, but...
Maybe you could host a Kabadi tournament and then sell cheese sandwiches.
That is a very shonky tournament, isn't it?